Harry's wife. Police. She's talking rubbish. Once again, Harry's wife engages in a revision of history. The revision of history is done because her narcissism dictates that she can behave this way for the purpose of assertion of control and drawing of fuel. This time, from the Mail Online, with an article by Rebecca English, the headline states, "There are always people who are never going to be happy." Toronto police chief hits out at Harry's wife as he rejects claim his force failed to protect her when she started dating Harry. Toronto's chief of police has rejected the Duchess of Sussex's claims that his officers left her unprotected when she started dating Prince Harry. Well, quelle surprise. Harry's wife once again has been called out by somebody to claim that what she's doing is incorrect and wrong. James Raymer was responding to Harry's wife's claims in the couple's Netflix docuseries that she was being stalked by photographers in Canada 24 hours a day. Embellishment, revision of history. He said, "There are always people who are never going to be happy." The Duchess, who was working in the city as an actress on the legal drama Suits, also suggested that neighbours were paid to install security cameras looking into her property. Paranoia, triangulation, delusion. But Mr. Raymer, an officer with 42 years of experience, suggested the claims on Netflix were inaccurate. Whoa, well, lordy lord, who'd have thunk it that Harry's wife was coming out with another porkie pie? He told the Toronto Sun newspaper, "I was deputy chief at the time, in charge of the Special Enforcement Command that oversaw that situation, and can tell you that the officers did an excellent job. Our officers were extremely professional. I oversaw the area that protected VIPs, and I fully support the work they did there." In the series, Harry and Harry's Wife, broadcast on the streaming giant in a multi-million-dollar production deal, the Duchess spoke at length about the pressure she felt after news broke in October 2016 that the couple were an item. She alleges that the Toronto Police Service failed to take seriously her complaints that she was being stalked by freelance photographers. She said, "I would say to the police, if any other woman in Toronto said to you, 'I have 6 grown men who are sleeping in their cars around my house and follow me everywhere that I go, and I feel scared,' wouldn't you say that was stalking?" They said yes, but there's really nothing we can do because of who you're dating. Harry's wife claims she asked police whether she was just supposed to live like this, and they replied, yeah. Of course, this is once again Harry's wife engaging in her paranoia and the victim. Oh dear. Poor old Harry's wife. The victim as always. The Duchess says some neighbours in her modest suburban street were paid to install a live stream camera to watch her movements. Yeah, right. You really do believe you're so important, don't you? Your neighbours will be thinking, who the fuck is she? SpongeBob SquarePants that occasionally walks by. Somebody with chicken legs. Who is she? What? She's in some TV programme called Slots. Is that what it's called? No, Sweets? No, Suits? Oh, never heard of it. But the point is, she thinks, of course, because she's so important, so meaningful, so masterful, that she is a champion of the universe, that all of a sudden people in a suburban street would think to themselves, do you know what I'm going to do? This person who we don't know who she is, never heard of, and nothing to do with the programme, but let's go and spend some money and have a live stream camera to watch her movements. She is, frankly, ridiculous. She says it was scary because my face was everywhere. Well, you're fucking right, it's scary if your face is everywhere with that rictus grin and your death-eyed stare. No wonder those poor people ought to be calling Saul and claiming some kind of personal injury claim against you with your bloody face popping up everywhere. Poor people they engaged in. What did they do to deserve this? They're walking along, minding their own business, and all of a sudden along comes this face. Terrible. However, Mr. Raymer told the Toronto Sun this was not what transpired. The police chief said he knew numerous detectives and officers who took the actress' complaint seriously and addressed her concerns. Now, once upon a time, you might think, well, who do you believe? Is it Chief Raymer? Is it her? Is it 6 of one, half a dozen of the other? But of course, this is the problem that Harry's wife has. She tells lies so often, so repeatedly, that ultimately nobody believes her. The fact is, people see how she behaves, and there's such a list of her behaviours that people ultimately think to themselves, oh, here we go again. More utter shite from her. I don't believe her. Chief Raymer, who had not watched the Netflix series, said the focus of his colleagues was always on trying to do their best to keep people safe, and they did just that with Harry's wife. We do not comment on investigations specifically, but what I will say is I have confidence in the work our members did, he said. The columnist who published the comments, Joe Warmington, was covering the crime beat at the time. He said, I can say with confidence, the assertions that Toronto police let the royal couple down are ludicrous. What she doesn't mention is Toronto police did respond to the street, routinely monitored it, deployed undercover vehicles and teams, and spoke to the paparazzi. There are even pictures taken by retired Toronto Sun photographer Mike Peake of police being on her street. So, further evidence that demonstrates that she's engaging in a revision of history. I also recall extra security with both her and Prince Harry when they were at Invictus Games events. Harry's wife should add Toronto police to the already long list of people who are owed an apology for comments made in the docu-series. Well, you're absolutely right, but I wouldn't hold your breath. While there is little doubt that the Duchess was subjected to greatly increased media attention while she was living in Canada, royal aides made concerted attempts at the time to help her deal with the new level of interest in her, including penning a public plea for Prince Harry to respect her privacy. Sources said they had no recollection of reports suggesting that security cameras were installed in order to spy on her. Well, shit the bed, huh? Yet more bullshit from the Duchess of Delusion. Hardly a surprise. And we may as well pop along and see what people have to say below the line as a consequence of this shebang that she's engaged in, coming out with more porky pies and, of course, the revision of history, saying that this is how she's been treated, that people have treated in this manner, that they have been not helping her with regard to her security, and this complete bollocks about suggesting that there was a live stream in relation to neighbours who were seeing what she was done and who she was seeing, and thinking that somehow they were almost like some kind of webcam that were having their jollies watching what she was up to do. Truth Not Treason writes, loved his comment, some people never happy, sums up her perfectly. The bride, they didn't owe her protection. Harry's wife grew up with an exaggerated sense of entitlement. She was fine. Like everything else, she created a problem so she could be a victim. That was just the start. Be British. She really thinks she's someone important, doesn't she? Shami, the proof that no one cared about this woman is that she always has to call beforehand to tell the paparazzi where she will be and at what time. No phone call, no paps, and that will not suit her at all. Linda Skinner, #1 drama queen of the entire planet. Jamestown 100. This couple seem wronged by everyone they have ever met. Never questioned their own conduct and behaviour. Should show some of the accountability they crave from others. The reputations they trash to stay relevant is shocking. HD Cami, the one thing Sharkles always gets right is the location of the cameras. Mary Mansour, Harry and Harry's wife are going to turn into the most detested couple on earth before too long, and they will have earned it. Pivon Rouge, had she not forced Prince Harry's hand to reveal their relationship plus the hints dropped in the TIG, there would have been no problem. But she was not in danger with the paparazzi. They would only be an annoyance, and since when has she shied away from the cameras? There are many women who are genuinely in danger, and although the police try to do their best, they can't be everywhere at the time. As usual, the condemnation of Harry's wife's behaviour as yet another porky pie has been unearthed. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.